You're in a pretty interesting and fairly unique position in that you've built a successful recruitment consultancy business, you've built a successful mid-size job board business. Looking at the industry as a whole, what do you think has been the big change in the industry over, say, the last 10 to 15 years that you think is both positive and maybe negative?
Well, the big thing is internet. The internet has transformed the industry. It's changed the way that people recruit, the way that people advertise. The publishers have noticed it, mainly to the fact that their revenues have dropped substantially. And being able to operate your advertising today is substantially cheaper than it was 10 or 20 years ago. So the big thing that's changed has been the internet.
So taking into account internet changes, how has that impacted on the whole concept of being a recruiter? What do you think today's recruiters may be different to 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? And I know when we discussed this, you came up with some fascinating points I would never have thought of.
I think with the internet, it allows anybody ready to start a recruitment company very easily because their cost base is a lot less. It provides job seekers to find jobs anywhere in the world very easily. TipTopJob itself obviously is a global site with 85 countries sites as part of it. So it does allow a much more globalisation of people to find jobs anywhere in the world.
What do you think today makes a good recruiter? A good recruitment consultant? What are they?
Interesting one. I suppose from a commercial point of view, it's somebody that can consistently make good revenues. Is the commercial side of it. From a probably job satisfaction point of view, they want to be able to feel that they are placing the right people in the right jobs, which is what a good recruitment consultant should do.
We were discussing earlier on this term, recruitment consultant, and you said something that fascinated me, that in your opinion, actually, from about 2000, they really did become finally recruitment consultants, and that prior to that, they were actually salespeople, and that the internet created the need to add value. Do you want to expand on that, what we were talking about?
I think in the 80s and the 90s, specifically at the end of those decades, I think the market went pretty crazy, and it was very easy to place people. A lot of people went into the contract market, and people earned, I'm talking about recruitment consultants, earned a lot of money. I think the internet and the change came around 2001, 9/11 time, and really that was the introduction when the internet took hold in the recruitment markets, and I think that's where recruitment consultants actually changed totally. The amount of money they could actually make from those sort of businesses has transformed in the last 10 years, and people don't earn as much as they did back in the 80s and the 90s. So therefore, they also had to add value because they had to provide better quality services to their client. I think the fact that more companies went into outsourcing, that changed it a great deal. I don't know that always quality went with the outsourcing, but at the end of the day, that was a process that a lot of corporate clients went down, and still do today.
What's your take on the move that I've certainly been seeing towards companies building their own in-house recruiting teams? Do you think it's a long-term trend, and is it a challenge? Do you think it's a part of the change and you accept it? Do you have an opinion on that?
I think there's a number of companies that we've heard that are trying that. I think I think that there's a lot of corporates that will have a team of people, and they will use internal recruiters that are probably ex-recruitment consultants, and they will handle the more lower end entity of the jobs. But who knows, when the market opens up, demand increases, people will then get more desperate. Companies will then want larger numbers of people, and maybe their internal team can't cope. And that's when the recruitment companies will then be able to actually expand again and deliver on much bigger revenues.
So Mike, Some really useful insights. Now I have a final question to ask everybody, and I always ask them unprepared. I'm a complete muso. What's your top 5 LPs of all time, sir?
My favourite groups is people like Gypsy Kings. I like Queen, so I'm showing to it from the 70s area. I like, would you believe, the ABBA music, because it just seems to go on and on and on.
I think millions of people do. Looking
Yes.
look at how much money Mamma Mia made. I think that tells
That's
the
right.
story in its own right. Mike, thank you ever so much for your time on a Friday,
You're welcome.
and good to talk to you. Thank you.